Hey, what's up, guys? This is Eel Speaks back again with another video. So I want to talk about the whole Kevin Durant can't carry a team narrative. So as we know, the Milwaukee Bucks and the Brooklyn Nets had went to a 7-game series. It went down to the wires with the final seconds of Kevin Durant making the game-tying shot to take the game into OT. And in the OT game, you could tell the Brooklyn Nets kind of ran out of gas, and the Milwaukee Bucks was able to capitalize, make key shots to ice the game and win the game. Even though Kevin Durant did have an opportunity to tie or win the game, you could tell he was just out of it from the shot. It airballed when he made the shot, and you could just tell there was nothing left after that. So in full force, the LeBron James fanboys and KD detractors and other media pundits alike were swarming down on KD, which was expected. Anytime a person that's a contemporary of LeBron James, a competitor, a rival of LeBron James goes down, the media is going to be full force on that. And you already know the media doesn't like KD, they don't like Kyrie or Harden, and the fact that all three of them are playing on the same team and they're a threat to win a championship, they're going to get a lot of media scrutiny, which was understood. I could see that a mile away when they lost this series against the Milwaukee Bucks. But the main point I wanted to talk about is one of the narratives that they were trying to get around, especially for people like Cherne Sharp, was that Kevin Durant can't carry a team. And even though I don't want to make excuses for Kevin Durant, because he did have an opportunity to win the game, but he didn't. But the fact of the matter is, he didn't have a full healthy team to go against the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, I understand how people could look at that as that's an excuse. The Los Angeles Lakers weren't healthy, and they could have possibly beaten the Phoenix Suns, and I agree. If the Los Angeles Lakers with a healthy LeBron James and a healthy Anthony Davis, they would have beaten the Phoenix Suns, no doubt about it. The Phoenix Suns are a tough, scrappy team, and I don't think the Lakers was just gonna roll through them or beat them at 5 or anything like that. I think they would have beat the Suns at 6. But again, I agree that that's a legitimate excuse for Los Angeles Lakers, but it's also more of a legitimate excuse for the Brooklyn Nets, because I don't want to hear about people saying that I don't want to hear people saying that Kevin Durant can't carry a team to a finals. So far, Kevin Durant has carried a team to 2 different finals for 2 different teams. One in OKC and one with the Golden State Warriors. Now, I know you want to say OKC had a lot of talent. They had 2 superstars, and same thing with Golden State Warriors. Now, but if you put in context about the OKC Thunders, those are 2 young, up-and-coming Russell Westbrook and James Harden. James Harden was coming off the bench winning 6th Man of the Year, and Russell Westbrook was still trying to, I guess you could say, find himself and understand who he is as a player. As they age and became who they are, we see what type of player all 3 of them became, and I don't think the team would mesh well with all 3 of them on the same team as of right now. Maybe Harden and KD, of course, but with Westbrook, no, it was never going to work. The play style that Westbrook plays with is just not conducive to winning a championship, and he will never win a championship. No slight to Westbrook, but it is what it is as regards to that. So that was a young baby OKC Thunder team, so I don't even count that. That was a great team that took to the finals, but in terms of IQ-wise, they weren't smart enough to beat the Miami Heat in that finals. They were talented enough, but they just weren't smart enough. Harden disappeared in that finals. Westbrook was playing horrible point guard basketball. His IQ was super low. He wasn't knowing what to do. Even Magic Johnson made a statement saying that was the worst performance by a point guard he ever seen in the finals. And Magic Johnson doesn't he don't take shots at nobody. And for him to say that says a lot about Westbrook and how he played as a point guard, which is really a combo guard, but his position says point guard. But I digress. He's not a point guard, he's a combo guard. But the way he was playing was just not conducive to winning the basketball, and that's part of the reason what frustrated KD and going and leaving to go to Golden State. Now, when you go into Golden State, yes, he did have a lot of talent around him. he did was on a super team with Steph, Clay, and you also throw in Draymond. Draymond to me wasn't really an all-star, but he was a really important piece on that team. He was the glue guy. He put everything together. He played defense, and he could guard multiple positions. So he was really important factor on that team, and it was important for Kevin Durant to play in that type of style with team basketball and with smart, high IQ players to teach him the game, and they could also teach them something. So it was a mutual beneficial thing that he went to that team to help them, and they also helped them in the long run. Now, as we go to the Brooklyn Nets, when it comes to that, you can't say that Kevin Durant can't carry a team to NBA Finals, because look what he had around him. Now, he had some decent key pieces, but again, they weren't decent enough where he had to play at least 48 minutes the whole game. If your team is that like low in bench players, that your star player has to play 48 minutes, then that's not good. That means you don't really have any depth to play anybody while your stars get some rest. On top of that, we already know that Kyrie Irving got hurt during the series, rolled on his ankle on Giannis' foot, and was basically out for the series. I already knew that he was going to be out for the series. They were just holding it to see maybe potentially he could come back for the third round, or maybe if they were able to make it to the NBA Finals, he could come play. But the way he rolled on that ankle, it's going to take a couple of months for him to heal and be back to normal off that injury. And then on top of that, Game 1, James Harden get a hamstring pull, and he's basically out for the series against Milwaukee. So that's a blow to the Brooklyn Nets as well. But we already know what would have happened if both those players were healthy, were in the series. They beat the Bucks in 5, possibly 4. And to think about it, they were up 2-1 when Harden pulled a hamstring in the first minute of the next game, and then after that, they were 2-0 when it was just KD and Kyrie. They were up 2-0. They lost Game 3 when he got hurt. Then they proceeded to lose Game 4, tied the series, and then Kevin Durant had to go beast mode and drop 49 points, triple-double, for them to win Game 5. And then you could tell they like emptied the clip and was out of gas in Game 6, so they was just saving their energy for Game 7, and they did all they could, and they still end up losing. Now, we already know if that full healthy Nets team with no injuries, no nothing, good chemistry, they would have blew the Milwaukee Bucks out the water. We already know that there's no other team in the East outside of maybe, I will say maybe the Atlanta Hawks are looking real good right now. That could pose a challenge, because I'm going to make a video about Ben Simmons and the Sixers in a minute, but that's a whole nother story. But again, you already know Brooklyn Nets was the team to beat in the East. Kevin Durant can carry a team to the finals. Now, people want to say that he can't carry a team without superstars. Well, who can? And I don't want to hear about LeBron James 07 or 2018. In 07, he carried his team to the finals, but they didn't win, so it doesn't count. And when they talk about 2018, I don't want to hear about 2018. He had Kevin Love on his team, so he had at least a star. Now, was he an aging star? Sure, but he was a star nonetheless on that team. So I don't want to hear about none of that. I hate how people want to denigrate LeBron James' teammates and make it seem like he played with trash people just so they could prop him up to be bigger than what he is. It's the same thing with Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant, he needs star players. People need star players to win, especially in this type of league where player movement is so heavily promoted, where teammates want to team up with each other and play. That's the name of the game right now. This is not the 90s, it's not the 80s. This is not even the 2000s. 2010s, LeBron James ushered in the player-created super team to where people of other teams want to team up for a particular franchise and win a championship. Is that right or wrong? It doesn't matter. It is what it is, and it's what you got to do to win championships. Now, could we possibly move on from that? Possibly, but players like Kevin Durant, LeBron James, and so on and so forth has to retire for the league for that to happen, because they're always going to do what's in the best of their own interests to try to win a championship. So that's what it's going to be. But this whole narrative that Kevin Durant can't carry a team is hogwash. Is BS. As time and time before, Kevin Durant, as one of the best players in the league, showed that once you put one or two superstars around him, good talent, bench with depth around him, he could carry a team to a finals, and he has a good chance of winning it once he's around like-minded, high IQ players that's on the same level as he is to help win a championship. Those are my thoughts and opinions on the matter. Let me know yours down in the comment section down below. Do you think Kevin Durant can carry a super team? Do you think he can't? If he can't, then let me know. If he can, then like this video. But those are my thoughts and opinions on the matter. I'm out.